Hi, Scrappy friends. Welcome. How about if we build one of my page kits together today? This is one that I did quite a while ago. It's super cute. As you know, my page kits come with all the bits and pieces ready to assemble. So we're going to do that together. And since this is my featured kit, it normally retails for $16. It is currently in my store at bonniescrapbookfriends.com, and it's discounted down to $14 this week only, okay? And there are only 7 of these kits available, so if you find it's something that you like, grab it before it's gone. And I'm going to show you how fun and easy it is to build one of these kits, okay? I do not start with my pictures to create a layout, but I find that I can always grab a layout and find pictures that will work with any of my kits. Any of my kits, there is something that will work, okay? So I pulled this one out today. We're gonna do this. I found some pictures. These are of my grandson, Kobe, and the other kids. This is from our time at the lake. And these pictures I think are gonna be perfect on here. So let me show you. We're gonna do it. We're gonna build this layout, and I'm gonna put pictures on a page. And for those of you that know me, you know what a huge accomplishment that is going to be for me, because I'm usually designing artwork and creating things for you guys, and I very rarely do my own pages. So you might look at this picture and these colors and say, oh, I don't know. I don't know that I would use this for one of my boys or whatever, but friends, it's not going to matter. Trust me when I tell you. Okay, this is a happy, it screams summer. It could be for any summer adventure. Okay, so here are your little tidbits of information. All right, and I want you to notice that I did put on here, please note that there are tiny letters inside your embellishment pack, so please be careful when removing them. These little letters here are all in this little embellishment pack. See them? You don't want to lose those, okay? You may choose not even to add them to your page, and that's okay. But I thought it was kind of cute. Squeeze the day with the lemons on there. How fun is that? So here we go. One thing I'm going to say is that when whoops, I dropped a piece. Don't do like me. One thing I like to tell people and suggest to people is to take all the pieces and kind of just lay them out, all right? You may find that you like a different paper or want to create or do something slightly different. You may want your photo mats to be in a different place. You can switch up your layout to suit your photos and your needs, all right? Most of these patterned papers are double-sided. They're not always going to work, but most of them are double-sided. So you might like more of the flower paper, and you may want to switch up those patterns. What's on this side? Nope, you're not going to want to use that, all right? But you could switch these, all right, and have more of that flowered pattern. I like to lay out my pieces whenever I'm building a kit, whether it's my own or somebody else's kit. I like to lay out the pieces. And just so we're clear, I have been known to forget to add certain pieces to a kit. You know, it's like I get on a roll and I get cutting, and sometimes it's like, oh, but I find it easier to lay them out. All right. So I'm just going to kind of lay these out the way I think, and I'm just using the photo. All right. If I get stuck, then I'll refer to the directions. Okay. But for right now, I'm just going to kind of lay these out on the paper the way they go. And you will notice that I do add measurements and stuff like that. I will give you little tips as to how far up from the bottom and all that kind of thing. Because I know some of you, like, you really want to follow the directions to a T, and I get that. I'm actually very, very familiar with that, and I concur. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna assemble our pieces to the base. We're gonna assemble our base pieces. Okay. And these pieces, it tells me on here, it says to start with the flower print over here, and we're gonna move right, and it's 1.5 inches from the bottom. All right, so if I'm using my Versamat here, my grid, some of you have grids, it may not be a Versamat, it might be something else. 1.5 inches from the bottom of the page. So I'm gonna go over here and I'm just gonna add it. Okay, and then I'm just going to use my ruler to make sure my pieces are straight. Next is this black dot. And remember, you can change it up. You are given X number of pieces in your kit, and you can flip them, change them. These are the pieces. The kits all have different prices, different price points, and mostly, hold on, this one says, I think this is centered. Yep, 1/2 inch from the top. So again, I'm just gonna find my 1/2 inch here. 1/2 inch here, and add that, just like so. Move this. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do the same thing. Now, if these two pieces were side by side, I will tell you that I would line my pages right up. I would line them right up, right next to each other, and I would start, because I want them to meet. But I'm going to go 1.5 inches here and add my piece. And then this one will join right over here. Just like that. Okay. Next, these pieces are going to come on here. All right, and let's see, what does this say? This one's going to slide over because it's going to be covered. Oh, actually it tucks underneath here. See? Should have followed the directions. Let's see. You can trim it though. Let me see. 4¼ inches from the bottom. This has a light and a dark side. I'm going to use the light side. I'm going to go 4¼ right here. And 4¼ I want it to be straight. Same on this side, 4¼ And had I paid attention, I would have noticed that this was underneath here. If you cannot lift this up, just here, we're going to do it this way. We're going to trim it because I didn't follow my own directions. Silly nonsense, right? But we can trim it. Or I would be able to lift this up and just slide it underneath. But for those of you, depending on what type of adhesive you use, you may not be able to do that, right? So I'm just going to butt that up right there against that yellow. I'm going to come over here, make sure it's at 4¼ And then I'm just going to trim this. Easy enough. Okay. All right. Next. And I'm sure, I know some of you very much are like me and you just use a photo. I'm going to layer up my photo mats next. Now, you can just add your photos to the black mat. You can do that. I personally like a little bit of a white border around my photos. That is a personal preference. If you want, these photo mats here, the ones we're doing right now, are 3¼ by 4¼ And you can simply take a 3x4 photo, add it right to the black mat. Not a problem. I like a touch of a white border around my photos. So I will trim my photo down slightly to fit inside that box. All right. I love this one. This one was one of my favorite kits. I love the Squeeze the Day with the lemons. Love it. Okay, this photo mat, let's see. Three and 3/4 from the bottom of the page. 3 3/4 from the bottom of the page. So here's 3 3/4. And it goes right up here against the edge of my layout. Just like that. Okay. This one is going to be the same. It's going to be 3 3/4 from the bottom. And this one is going to butt right up against that yellow plaid. 3 3/4. I do these kits. So many of you like the page kits. I love designing them. And the idea is to take the work out of it for you. Let's see if I put on here. Let me see. Nope, doesn't really say. So I'm gonna kind of center this one. I'll put the one in the middle first. Let's see. I'll put it on here so we can see it. Let's see. It's gonna go about 4 3/8 from the bottom. So you can eyeball it. I mean, it does not have to be perfect, but some of you like the details. So I'm gonna put that one on in the center, and then I'll go above and below. And there's about 1/8 of an inch in between. Whoops. I will tell you that this Tombow Mono Air is my favorite adhesive because it glides wonderfully and I have a little bit of time. It gives me a fraction of time. Okay. Here I have these black glitter strips that are going to go above and below. Oops. Now, mind you, I'm looking at the directions. Again, this page I did a long time ago. I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add my photos next. Okay, these are just a few photos I pulled from last summer. I'm gonna grab my photo trimmer here. One would think she's doing a video, she might want to be prepared. Yep, typically that would be true. And I'm going to trim my photos down because, like I said, I like a little bit of a border. These photos are 4x6. This is what it would look like if I just put them on the black mat. They would be fine. They would be fine, okay? I could just go ahead and put these right on here, not even use that white, and it would look really good. Actually, they'd look really good. So I could do that. Again, I like that little bit of a white edge. I think it helps make my photos pop just a little bit. So I'm gonna trim these down ever so slightly. So that I have that white like 1/8 of an inch around my photos. It is definitely just something that you do that's a personal preference. It certainly is not required. But again, I just like the look. So this little boy asks me every time I see him, Grandma, when do we get to go back to the lake? When are we going? And I keep saying, soon, buddy, soon, soon. Winter is long when your happy place is at the lake. Or, in my husband's case, when your happy place is on the golf course, right? He's a golfer. He's actually going to be heading out on a golf trip soon, so yay for him. So as you can see, it does not take long to build a page. We're moving right along. Right? What's going to take the longest amount of time is building that title for this particular page. See, again, this is the what it looks like with the white border. I showed you what it looked like without. You can do either. I include the white mats in your kit. You get to choose. I think we'll put this one first. These go together pretty easy, pretty quick. Of course, I would choose one that has a lot more pieces for the first time, right? Okay. Now, guys, you can save these little bags. Now, be very careful when you pull these out. All those letters on there, and see, I've got one stuck down here in the bottom of the bag. I got one stuck. It wants to stay in the bag. Okay. You don't want to lose those letters, and they might be staticky. I do all the stamping for you. The die cutting, it's all done for you. All right. Here's my little tag. Here's my leaves. Oh, I did pick a tricky one. All right, I'm gonna set these here. Now this one, you're gonna have to pop out the rest of the stuff on this doily, okay? I do a lot for you, but I'm just using my tweezers or a pokey tool, whatever you have, and I'm just going to poke out the rest of these pieces. Here, let me move this over here. Move that. Doesn't take that long. It's in the details, you guys. I find that the things that take us a while, they seem like a pain, But in the end, it really makes it. This one doesn't want to pop out. Easier doing it from this side. It's funny because I have found too, when I make kits, I seem to always pick the ones that are the most challenging. Some of the thin cuts. And my mom is amazing. She has been, so many of these die cuts were done by my mom. She loves to come up here and help. Well, I picked a doozy for the first one, you guys. This maybe was not such a good idea. It is, because it's a super cute layout. It's super cute. And I know there's an easier way to pop these out. Some of you probably have the little tools that you could use, but not me. We're gonna go old school. This is taking the longest. It's taking longer than all the other stuff. Getting there, almost done. Yay. Don't let it deter you from purchasing the kit. It's still worth it. Because it's darling. It's adorbs. I got them. It wasn't so bad. Was not so bad. Okay. Then this gets layered on here. This gets layered on here. Let's see, one that I missed. Okay. All right. So here is your little white strip, and this gets dovetailed. And because it's such a small piece, it's a 1/2 inch strip. I'm going to find a 1/4 inch. And I'm going to make a small slit in my paper. Then I'm going to go from the left corner to the top of the slit, and from the right corner to the top of the slit, and create my dovetail. All right. Now I'm going to bring these letters over here. And of course, on the black mat, it ought to be. All right, I know happy's gonna go on here, and B. And on here, we're gonna put squeeze the day. So I'm just gonna grab these, and I'm gonna lay them out. That's probably the, let's see. My tweezers are bent also. Actually, I'm just gonna glue them. They're moving all over. You could put them in a little Xyron if you have a Xyron and that's how you want to do them. I am just going to, come on, these tweezers are so bad. I just ordered new ones. Just gonna dab it in a little glue. And you want it to be centered, okay? Since they're moving all over the place, that's how I'm gonna solve that problem. You little stinkers. It's easier when you have the proper tools, and my tweezers, so I decided it might be a good idea to try and use them to open something. And when I did that, you know what happened, right? It bent that point. And created a real problem. So now they don't want to close right. I'm just dipping it in my liquid glue here. Squeeze the day. Can you imagine cutting all these on the Cricut? Done for you. A little bit more. Squeeze the day. There we go. They're all on there. And now we need to dovetail this other end. So same thing, finding my, actually I'm gonna trim it just a tiny little bit right here. Do I wanna do that? I'm gonna leave it. I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna find my halfway mark. corner to top, corner to the top. Okay. All right, so that's gonna, whoops, my Y moved. There we go. Okay, so that's gonna be ready. We need to dovetail this guy. And we want these to line up when they go together, all right? So the way I'm gonna do that is I'm gonna kind of center this at the bottom. I want the white to be centered. This piece is 2.5 inches. So my center is going to be at 1 1/4. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to go to 1 1/4. This is my halfway, right? And I'm going to make a small cut through both sheets of paper. All right. Then I'm going to come over here to the left and I'm going to cut to the top of that incision, if you will. Okay. Then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go from the right corner to the top. And I have my dovetail. All right. So now when I lay these on, now I have that equal border, okay? Just like that. All right. The other thing I did on this is I did a little doodling around this, and I just do it freehand. If you want to use a ruler, you can use a ruler, but I'm just going to go in about 1/8 inch, and I'm just going to draw a line. With a black journaling pen. Nothing fancy. All right. Okay. That's ready. This is ready. Everything's ready to glue on there. This is my journaling card. Oh, we got to cut these too. This is my journaling card. It goes on my page like this. It gets tucked up underneath there. So I'm just going to hold this in place on my mat. And I'm either going to, you can use either a black journaling pen or you can use a pencil. Maybe you want to use a pencil to draw your lines because you don't really want to see the lines. Again, that's up to you. But I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to, where I want my journaling to start. And I'm just going to go in slightly from the edge. And I'm just going to make a series of 1/4 inch journaling lines. And I'm doing it in pencil. You can leave the pencil lines there after you do your journaling, or you can erase them, whatever works. If you can create straight lines, which not so much for me. And a lot of this gets tucked under, so. Okay. There. And now I'm gonna quick fussy cut these guys. I like to leave a little bit of a white border when I fussy cut. Boy, I really picked a doozy this time, didn't I, you guys? Oh my God. Like, Bonnie, what were you thinking? For the first one. These people are gonna think you're nuts. Why would I do that? You'll do it because it's cute and it's not hard and all the pieces are there for you. You just have to build it. And there are some of you that still like to cut and you like to do fun techniques on your pages. So this gives you a few little things that you have to take care of to complete your page. This particular one, some of them are a breeze. I mean, honestly, some of them, all you got to do is just add the pieces and you're done. This one I chose because it was super cute. It was one of my favorite kits that I did. And I hadn't added any pictures to mine yet. Okay, there's my little leaves for my lemons. Okay, so I'm gonna bring the other layout in. Okay. So this right here goes up here. It overlaps into the photo, so it comes over here. Let me line this up, I'll tell you how far. Let me see, it might even tell me. Nope, it doesn't. So I'm just gonna add some adhesive here. And I know that in the diagram, it shows it overlapping both of these photos. So I'm gonna go maybe, the center point is right here at the yellow. That's where it is. So like 4 1/4. Okay. Now, if this covered something on your photo, you guys could easily move it around. Put it over here, move it on your page. So then we need one of these lemons and we need these two. All right. And these kind of overlap each other and they're gonna come up here. And this guy gets tucked underneath like so. And where are my leaves? We need a couple of leaves right up in here. All right. You can use foam tape if you want to use foam tape to add these. Maybe you don't want to. I'm going to kind of layer them up this way first so that I like them. And then this one kind of comes in here. Like so. Okay, and then this guy tucks underneath here, like that. Then I'm going to do the same thing with my leaves. I'm going to kind of, I like to put them on as a unit, kind of. All right, then at the very end, we're gonna come back in and we're gonna add some gems. All right, let me slide this over so you can see. So now, the way this is gonna go, this is gonna kind of tuck up in here. All right, so our journaling card is gonna go right here. kind of even with our photo. And I'm going to put my first journaling line right here at the edge of this dotted paper, like this. Now, if you wanted to, guys, if you wanted to, you could add, this is a tag, you could add some twine here if you want, but you don't need to. All right. Then this piece is going to come right in here, and it's going to come over here just about to the edge of this, and it's going to overlap that journaling card just like that. Okay. You could also use foam tape here for this if you want. All right. I'm going to set this right here. And I just want to place these pieces. So this is Be Happy. Squeeze the Day. All right. Again, feel free to use foam tape here. Squeeze the Day. Be happy. I'm just going to use my tape runner. Oh my, the rain has started here. It's pouring. Oops. Just going to kind of center happy on here. There we go. Man, I am on the struggle bus today. Holy cow. There, be happy, squeeze the day. These two guys go this way. And they kind of tuck in here, like so. This one is in here. Like this. It's really hiding my journaling card here. How did I do this? Okay, this guy is over here. My other leaves, it's super cute. They're tucking right in here, just like that. And here's our journaling, and I can extend my journaling down here. And then this guy goes right here on the corner of your page. Just like that. There we go. Now I've given you in your kit you have some sequins that you can add. Just gonna pour them in a little dish here. These I just kind of again, my tweezers giving me grief. Tuck one underneath here. Probably should have popped that up. I think I put another one down here. Just to add a little touch of sparkle, because y'all know I love my sparkle. And then up here, I added a couple. You have lots in here. You have more than enough. Okay. And then just go with your liquid glue and just glue them on. Hopefully your tweezers work better than these. This one I'm going to swap out for a smaller one. There we go. A couple up here. Oh, I can't wait for the new tweezers to arrive. I hope they're as good as these, but without an end that's broken. Okay, all done. There you have it. There you have it. Super duper cute. My little grandson looks absolutely adorable, even with pink, right? Be happy, squeeze the day. There you go. This kit will be on sale. There are 7 left, and they will remain on sale for the rest of this week. Okay? So take advantage. That's all that's left. They're so cute. And I'm going to write my journaling in. But you don't need to watch me do that. Okay? Bye, friends.